Alrighty. We were all jamming out here on the SEC After Dark podcast. It is Wednesday night. It is everyone's favorite time of the week.
Coming at you right here, the wacky evening crew.
That's pretty good.
We got Jake Thomas on the traffic.
It's kind of like my wacky.
It's going to no. Oh, never mind. Yeah. I was going to say it's going to rain like Albert did off of Family Guy, but he's going to rain. Yeah, it's going to rain.
No, it's that voice is a combination of, I don't know if you guys are familiar with who Bob Rathbun is.
Wacky I know Tom Rathman.
Oh yeah,
Bob Rathbun. He works for like Fox Sports South. He does all the Hawks games.
Yeah,
he talks like this. Neek, the Hawks and Jeff Teague, man.
Bob Rathbun. I'm like, dude, you're not real. You're definitely not real. Like that voice is just
not real at all.
Doesn't happen in a normal human. So
now I hope part of me wishes he was, so that he could just be talking to people in conversation like that.
I mean, he does. I mean, he really like talks like that. It's.
Do you think I should go check the mail?
Yeah, like what's for press lunch here? We got some grilled chicken and some broccoli from way downtown. Bang.
What up, Daniel?
I've never seen anything like it. Like my 2 years that I worked at Phillips Arena, he was like the main guy. Him and before Dominique got like hired by the Hawks, but he's been Dominique was his analyst on what was Fox Sports South. Now it's Bally something.
Yeah.
So soon to be Amazon and soon to be out of business.
Yeah.
So Frenchie better hold on tight. That's Jeff Francoeur for all you keeping score.
Jeff Francoeur, yeah. Oh, Frenchie.
I was told though that if you're an out of market person, like if you're with me and looking for the Detroit Tigers and all that, the Bally thing and the Amazon thing makes no difference. It's not like you can check it out on Amazon Prime. So I'd still need the MLB package anyway.
MLB's got a racket going with that.
So Amazon is going after MLB and it's already got NFL, right?
There's
Amazon. No, Amazon went after Bally. They invested in Bally's.
No, YouTube TV got NFL.
YouTube TV has a ticket. Amazon just has their one game.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and NFL Network's about to be owned by ESPN.
Yeah,
which will make some people very angry for some reason.
It's just TV, man. Like,
right.
It just doesn't matter. It's like whenever people say, it's like, I had to turn the volume down on these announcers. It's like, why?
Who listens to the announcers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't really like. They're kind of just white noise, and every once in a while somebody says something good. I'll listen, but
I've got tinnitus in one ear, and I need to hear something on the other. So yeah.
But Steve, you say that about Gary Danielson, though.
No, I listen to Gary Danielson every single time. I just make jokes about you not having to hear him ever again.
A lot of people hate him.
One of y'all like absolutely despises him. It's one of you.
He despises Alabama, so of course I do.
You say he despises Alabama, and I guarantee you there's 13 other SEC schools that talks about him blowing Nick Saban.
I don't know about that.
Can we say that on the show?
We just did.
In his defense, everybody did.
So speaking of Jeb is
Jeb's in his bag. I'm talking.
It's been a day.
Yeah.
I got a story for you guys.
I'm NC-17 today. I mean, no big deal.
I got a story for y'all about my day when we finish these reads. So the show's presented by DeadSoxy. If you want to support Ole Miss NIL, make sure you go to DeadSoxy.com and make your purchase. That wonderful looking box over Steve's right shoulder is the packaging it comes in when you buy a set of 7. You can set yourself up for socks for the week. You can buy some Juice Kiffin socks. You can buy some socks in multiple colors to set yourself up for a really successful week and a really stress-free week by not having to worry about what socks you're wearing. So make sure you head to DeadSoxy.com. Make sure you sign up for the membership because you get 25% off of every purchase, free shipping, and a free gift. So it's a great deal. You support Ole Miss NIL, and you get some really good-looking socks in the meantime. So make sure you go to DeadSoxy.com, sign up for that membership, use promo code After Dark. and you will get some really nice to stay soxy, my friend. And whatever lines we're going to talk about, which we may do some Super Bowl prop bet stuff next week. Whatever lines we present by betonline.ag. And
Corey, you're going in and out real bad.
Am I going in and out?
Yeah, you're a little bit better now. Yeah.
How about now? Is that better?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Can you hear me now? So make sure. Yeah. So make sure you head to betonline.ag. If you they're the number one sports wagering website. If you want to bet it, they have it at betonline.ag. So make sure you head to the website now, sign up, and enter the promo code Bleav. That's BLEAV for 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline.ag. It's where the game starts.
All right. It is time to get locked on pickles, everybody. Stewart's Cajun Pickles, that is. They offer a variety of Cajun spice products like pickles, green beans, okra, even carrots, and asparagus. This is a family-owned company, homemade on the coast of Mississippi. Stewart's Cajun Dill Pickles have been pleasing pickle lovers for over 20 years, and they've become the South's favorite pickle. These are truly the best pickles you'll ever have. Strong dill flavor with Cajun punch, no over sour taste. This being a small business, they strive to keep the produce fresh, so they keep the final pickle product extra crispy and crunchy. You can find these pickle products online at pickledstore.com or at your local Rouse's Market or other Gulf Coast Southern stores near you. Be sure to like Stewart's Cajun Dill Pickle product on Facebook and Instagram. Try these pickles, okra, and beans today. You will not be disappointed. Stewart's Cajun Dill Pickles, the South's favorite pickle.
All right.
And they're not the NCAA, so they could be Tennessee's favorite pickle.
Oh.
Where are we on getting rid of the NCAA? I know
they're
about that for
the
years.
one seed, so if you guys have a really nice game here, you can knock them out.
Somebody needs to. They get sued and lose all the time, though. They're not very good at this anyway. And they're going to lose again.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't a political thing, but it feels like they lose more lawsuits than Donald Trump.
Don't talk about my lawsuits. My lawsuits are very beautiful.
Dang.
They're the greatest of all time.
It's pretty good, too.
Yeah.
Hey, Donald. I didn't know we had Donald.
Corey's impressions are great, man.
Yeah. I didn't know Donald Trump was on the show tonight.
I've been practicing that one pretty
nice
since 2020.
Yeah, Corey does impressions. He does a lot of them.
Wow. Steve knows firsthand. Steve's got a lot of experience with all my impressions.
Can't you do Kermit?
You mean Patrick Mahomes?
Oh well, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, I'm really excited about the Super Bowl. Taylor, Taylor and Travis, they're a good power couple here. They bring us a lot of good luck. And Coach Reed, he calls some good plays into the helmet. It's really good.
So speaking of, we'll do our show first, but when we get kind of
can he do Travis Swift?
It will. I got a question to ask y'all about the Super Bowl.
Give me. I'll be right back.
Anyway, we were getting rid of the NCAA. I don't remember what was going on. That's
where
I thought we were.
Donald Trump made an appearance. So you just have to halt everything,
Yeah.
It is fun seeing them fired up, though. I got to tell you, man, our chancellor just fired up just a message like she's angry about this, which, Tennessee's we just got out of trouble. So that's why we're so angry about being right back into this mess. But
it's very SMU. That's the way it feels. I'm not saying they are. That's the way it feels.
Yeah. Well, it just doesn't make sense. Like when Tennessee did something wrong, they would admit it. That's what they did with the Jeremy Pruitt stuff. They're the ones that investigated it. They admitted it. They reported it all. They took their lumps. But in this crap, this has them angry, and I don't blame them, at least from what little we've heard. Now, the NCAA, I don't think, has released a whole lot of exactly what they're investigating, so we don't know all the details. Maybe there's more to it.
We won't never know, probably.
Yeah, it's all around time. It's all around the Nico Iamaleava.
That's the part we've heard. But what we've heard so far, what we've heard so far basically is that they're after Spry Sports for that deal, for something that happened that broke rules that they set after that happened. Like, that doesn't make any sense. How can they be in trouble for breaking rules that weren't in place yet? But it's the same thing with they're going after Florida for Jalen Rashada. It's the same thing. That all happened before those rules were set.
The NCAA,
and then they went after Florida State for the same thing. It just doesn't make sense. They're going after a bunch of schools for things that happened before
they set these Wild West rules. Like they said, okay, NIL, have at it. We're not going to tell you anything else yet. And then now they're going back and going, oh, that's against the rules.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
And
you can't put the toothpaste back in the tube on this one.
And like Tennessee and Virginia. Oh, go ahead.
I've got a cool conspiracy theory about this.
Oh, I love conspiracies.
Oh, yeah. I think the NCAA is intentionally doing this. Okay. And they did the NIL thing and they caused all the chaos in the world. And they are doing these investigations right now because they want the Power Five to leave. They want to rule Delta State and Louisiana Monroe. They want to be the boss of that group because they can handle that. The other ones have outgrown them completely.
I mean, that's not far off.
I hope so. Took their lead most. Well, yeah, no, Tennessee did go through a lot of that investigation because they wanted a good reason to fire Jeremy Pruitt. I'll admit that is true.
Yeah,
they got one,
but they still did it.
Right.
It's not like they lied about it or tried to hide it.
They had a lot of reasons to fire Jeremy Pruitt, but
yeah,
mainly because he sucked.
They just found the one that allowed them to not have to pay him.
Right.
And Tennessee and Virginia seem like they're suing right now because they don't want the NCAA to be able to get into these NILs and restrict the collectives at all, which I'm not sure I agree with that either. There need to be rules. There just weren't clear rules at the time. There still aren't really clear rules. I mean, they're better because now the rule is collectives kind of get treated like boosters. And so they can't do certain things like pay for an airplane that they paid for Nico, apparently, is what they're being accused of. The problem is at the time, there was no rule saying that they were boosters. The rule, there was nothing like that. Collectives were just people with money that wanted to help out, and they flew Nico down. And
yeah, there was nothing.
That wasn't against any rule at the time.
At the time, and at the time, nobody said anything about it.
Right.
Yeah. And why 2 years later, now the NCAA, of course, I say that's like it's some conspiracy. Like 2 years later, there's something into it. But the NCAA is always at least 2 years behind of anything. So.
Oh yeah, they don't make rulings for 2 years on something.
Yeah,
that's
not surprising.
They rushed this whole NIL thing out.
Yep.
Because they wanted to make these institutions happy, and they didn't put any legislation behind it. And now they're trying.
That is the reason they rushed it out. They was about to get sued, and it was going to be a free for all anyway. They preemptively just did that because they were going to lose.
Yeah,
because they always lose.
Yeah,
they are the Vanderbilt football of legal matters.
I would say the Vanderbilt basketball because they just keep getting dunked on.
Yeah. Hey, Jeb, you remember Seth Rollins' former music when he played was "Burn It Down"? That's what Tennessee's hoping to do in the NCAA here.
Oh yeah,
well, it's about time.
Yeah, right.
And I think what's going to come out of this, okay?
Whenever
this all happens,
take it.
Yeah,
60 teams. They're going to organize themselves in 15-team conferences, 4 of them. And you're basically going to play. You're going to end up in a playoff, and you're going to have this own beautiful self-contained thing to where I don't know how I feel about it, but I think that's where this is going. And I think that the Tennessee lawsuit and the Virginia lawsuit, that this one is going to be viewed as like the Georgia and Oklahoma lawsuit against the CFA 40 years ago. I think that's the same thing that's going to happen, and that's going to be what opens up the floodgates, because you have a situation. Louisiana Monroe does not want to have to pay all the NIL stuff. They want the toothpaste to go back in the tube.
Right.
At Alabama, the toothpaste can't go back in the tube. That's not a possibility. And Alabama does not want to be governed as if they're Louisiana Monroe.
Mm-hmm.
Because they have the means to not be governed like they're Louisiana.
Yes. Right.
Yeah. So if a player goes to the NCAA, I guess, there will be a lot of rules, but they're hoping, I guess, to get to the bigger conference at some point where they can make a lot more money. Yeah, that makes sense.
Would they call it the Alliance?
The Alliance. I like that.
Yeah, the Alliance cost Florida State a playoff berth.
Well, that's true.
But yeah, that's what I think is going to happen. Michael Speck says some of these investigations came about because some school presidents wanted the NCAA to put rules in. Why they wanted that, I am not sure, because the NCAA is the schools.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's the only statement they've put out so far is, look, you told us to set these rules and be doing things. We're just doing what you wanted us to.
The Georgia Bulldogs do not want to be governed the same way as the Delta State statesmen.
The NCAA will not take.
No, that might as well be two completely different things.
Right. The NCAA does not want to take blame for anything. I mean, they're just passing blame around for everything.
And take credit for everything.
Yeah, and take credit for everything.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they too they go something pro and other than sports.
You know what the answer is, right?
What's that?
That there's going to be pushback on this one, and they don't want it to have happen because what it will mean. Okay. Football, basketball, and women's basketball, whoever wants to do it, they need to be classified as employees in this breakaway league, to where they're employees of the university, where you can sign them up to have contracts 1 through 4 or 5 years or whatever. You can put a limit on it, whatever you want it to be. You can make it to where they can transfer only out of contract like that. You can put employment stipulations just like the NFL, MLB, all of that is in there. Now, that works for Alabama. That does not work for Mississippi Valley State. So it's going to be a complete breakaway. And those things, that is what's going to be necessary to do it. Here's the downside. If you do that, that is the end of Title IX at these schools. So Alabama, where all the football money and everything is going out to take care of non-revenue sports, that's gone, because now that it's an employee-based business and not a scholastic entity, it is not subject to Title IX unless they change the rules for it. As it sits now, the athletic department, the women's basketball team, the baseball team is not entitled to any of the school's endowment. There is a separation there. So if the football team becomes a part of the school, you're going to have a situation where some of these non-revenue sports, they get cut. They're gone. And you're going to have places like Alabama and Georgia with like 5 sports. And they're perfectly happy to do it.
Yeah. Like all the ones that make any bit of money.
Yeah.
Or the non-revenue sports are going to have to fund themselves and get
places like Stanford, student athletes actually really a thing. It is. They have 727 sports. You can go to Stanford and play all kinds of weird stuff. You can be on the water polo team. That doesn't exist at the University of Mississippi, where they have like 13 sports.
Right.
And if you remove football to where so much of the money is coming in, that is going to kill Title IX. It's over. It's done.
So go ahead.
No, I agree with this. It's kind of starting to sound like it's hitting a situation where it's going out of control. And I do think there needs to be some kind of control. I'm not saying the NCAA, like the idea of it, is a bad thing. I'm just saying they do a terrible job of it.
Right.
But I don't want, I'm not even sure I want Tennessee to win their lawsuit, keeping the NCAA out of the NIL collectives. I just think there need to be clear, actual rules set in place, something actually done here. And the NCAA doesn't seem to do anything except, like they're reactionary. And I don't like that.
I think what's going to end up happening is the only time there's actually rules put in place will be whenever it gets broken away and they negotiate new rules to start a new entity.
And that might be what ends up having to happen.
Yeah, that's when rules and enforcement and all of that stuff is going to happen. And that's going to exist until people start cheating in that system to get things done.
So
and the new entity will have a commissioner.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mark that down. But yeah, they got to figure out how they want to they're going to figure out how to still fund some of these sports at these institutions, and they'll figure all that stuff out. I mean, you said Title IX will be done. I don't know that it'll be done quite like you think it might be, because they'll,
it'll be done as a powerful entity as what it is now, because without football and that money being distributed to the rest of the athletic department, Title IX just means that out of $1 million out of basketball that you receive, all of a sudden the basketball team only gets about $50,000 because everybody else is all split 15 ways.
Yeah.
So if we go to, like you said, Steve, like these contracts, you sign these kids to a 3-year deal. Well, and perhaps maybe they need to govern this way. Like, say basketball, after a year you play basketball, you can go to the NBA draft. So if you sign a 3-year contract, you're breaking that contract with the school. So thus they don't have to pay you the rest of the NIL money, perhaps.
Yeah. It'd be something if they're not under the contract, if you're not in school, and it needs to be a situation in NIL where, yes, earning potential is based off of actually being in school.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, it does. I mean, let's just quit beating around what we're dealing with here. Let's talk about it for real. And if that happens, if there's somebody not at your school, there's no reason to pay them.
Yep.
In fact, if they signed for 3 years and depending on the contract and they left after 1, they may owe you a buyout for going pro, which that might be something they need to do. Whereas a $50,000 buyout for the athlete to go pro.
I agree with that.
I would think these 5-stars would start negotiating for shorter contracts then, saying if you want me to come there, it's only going to be for, I'm only signing it 1 year at a time. Because some schools.
Well, in football, they would sign 3-year deals.
Yeah, I mean, football is going to be 3-year deals because you got to go 3 years. You got to be a junior before you can go pro anyway.
Yeah, but whose role is that? That's the NCAA.
You're going to see.
I think in football, the red flag will be the player that wants just a 1-year deal.
Yeah. And I mean, if it's a 5-star, like one of the top, let's say, cornerbacks in the country or something, and Deion Sanders is willing to give him a 1-year deal, then you could say, it should be a 3-year all you want, but he's going to go where his 1-year deal is. And then hope he can get to the NFL.
This has turned out to be the NFL, like you said, a free agency. That's all it's about to come out
that's
to.
what it's starting to sound like.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying I think there needs to be some kind of governing body and control.
I agree.
There's some contract clauses, like if your coach leaves or if he gets fired or leaves on his own accord,
and you can't be a 9th-year senior.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You can't even make the Tommy Boy joke to that one. That was just, the one thing the NCAA can do is control eligibility, and they letting somebody go to school for a decade playing football. I don't care if they got hurt. It's not saying you've got 5 years to be healthy and play. You got 5 years to play for regardless.
Yeah.
Not him.
Well, the COVID year screwed all that up too, but
COVID made it. But still, even that, like, okay, now you got 6 years to play for. It's like, what do you like? Come on.
Yeah. Ronnie Perkins thinks there's going to be a 64-team league with 4 16-team divisions. 12 teams make the playoffs, 4 first-round buys, 8 team subdivisions. Every subdivision plays each other plus 6 at-large games. Sounds like Ronnie has put that out, and I wonder if he's any relation to Ray Perkins.
Ooh.
Check.
No.
No,
I like
not
that.
Kalen DeBoer.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Jake. No, I'm just kidding.
Have fun. We'll stay on the 4th game this year, Corey.
We will.
Yeah, this is the 1 year Ole Miss doesn't get Alabama.
Yeah.
I don't know what that's like.
Jake, we always play regular season games at y'all's place.
I know. I understand that. I figured it'd been at Athens this year.
Jake?
A cousin.
Oh,
that's cool.
Nice.
Welcome, Ronnie.
Oh, it's like actual.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Pretty fired up about that.
Yeah. Why don't you tell your cousin to listen to our show too, Ronnie? Be cool.
Ray Perkins, I think, had a 34-16 record at Alabama and still got fired.
Yeah.
I mean, that's Gus Malzahn level. I mean, he was winning and still got fired.
Yeah, you know why?
Yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't Bear Bryant.
He wasn't Bear Bryant.
That's the same thing that's going to happen to Kalen DeBoer, for better or for worse. That's the same thing that's going to happen.
He's not Nick Saban.
He's not Nick Saban.
So lost in all of our discussion was this comment right here.
Yeah. I said about that as the red teleprompter.
Rick and the president, and then I freeze and then walk around the room like I'm a Roomba.
Hey, it's our own fault. We got 2 80-year-olds running for president.
Yeah. This is
ridiculous. It's our own fault.
What is wrong?
Can we not find anybody better?
It's like 15 years past retirement age.
Yeah,
and they're deciding they want to run the free world.
I don't know. The last speeches I heard, one was falling asleep and the other was arguing about magnets. It's just, I don't understand where we are right now.
Like, what is happening? And
back when I used to watch Matlock on my plastic couch.
Good gosh, I will say this. It's impressive and as hell that you get $100 fine for lying about somebody. Can you imagine what you have to do to justify $100 million fine?
Well, if you had True Social, you would know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because he railed on her a lot on True Social.
Yeah. Good gosh.
Yeah. And then you have to have a very incompetent attorney.
Yes.
Rick and Bonnie, will 2024 Alabama have as much talent as 2023 Washington? The answer to that one is yes. Yeah. Even with the players that Alabama lost, they still are the most talented team in the country, probably. The only one that would be close is Georgia. But the one thing that Alabama does not have that Washington had in 2023 is Michael Penix.
Yep.
That is very true. Michael Penix is apparently tearing it up at the Senior Bowl too, by the way.
I don't doubt it at all.
Yeah, I believe
that. A good quarterback is good. That's shocking.
Yeah, I know. And then Bleav McConkey and Ricky Pearsall are also just cutting corners up.
Oh.
Just slicing and dicing.
I want Bleav McConkey. Like I said, I don't know if there's any relation at all, but I want him to go to the New York Giants.
I think there is a relation.
Yeah.
I think there is. I think he's an uncle.
They need somebody because supposedly they're fixing to lose Barkley after this year.
Yeah, they're going to lose Barkley, and they have a bunch of like number 3 wide receivers.
Can't they just tag him?
He won't sign the tag. They'll end up having to release him.
Yeah,
they can't. It'll be like one of those because like tagging him 2 years in a row. It could be one of those tags that he can get out of.
Right. Okay, I was gonna say because I don't blame him for not wanting to play under it, but running backs have such a short shelf life.
But it
kind of gives you too much power over them.
They could tag him, but he could just say "F off" and
I think
then, like I said, they've got such a short shelf life. He's losing a lot of money doing that.
And the first year he got hurt and was out for the whole year, so he didn't play the first year. I think
it's not really fair.
Second year,
okay.
First year he was going to be like the next best thing.
Then he got hurt. That's right.
He had like 2 or 3 years where he didn't finish the season after like 10 games.
I hope they don't do that to him, but
yeah,
I don't think they can. I don't think he has to. Like last year, he was still under contract, so they could tag him, and all he could do was sit out. This year, he's an actual free agent.
Every time you say tag him, I just like I want him to say here, tag him and bag him.
Tag him and bag him, boys. And I've heard the Chiefs is a destination for Saquon Barkley. By the way,
yeah, I heard that too.
The Chefs,
oh Lord,
like they need any more
great
talent.
Googly moogly.
Yeah, Kermit the Frog and Travis Swift, they probably need him.
Our running backs, we need somebody to go with Pacheco, somebody to throw to out of the backfield. I've also heard the Titans too.
We were going to go to we were going to go have a celebratory trip to Hollywood Studios this weekend, but instead we're going to Animal Kingdom because we got into the Tusker House, which, by the way, if anybody's like a Disney file in here, fantastic breakfast.
A Disney file?
Yes, Disney file.
That sounds illegal.
Yeah, potentially.
Borderline.
Yeah.
I'm Disney file.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna do that. We're gonna ride Everest in like 60 degrees.
Not the greatest name of all time, Disney file. You gotta need to rethink that one.
Well, that's the one I just gave them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's not an official term. That's just a Steve Willis special.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah, we're in the time of year, by the way. If everybody noticed by views, Monday after the NFC Championship game, nobody was watching.
Yeah.
The views were like 25% of what they normally were.
See, last week we were at like 50 something. Right now we're sitting at 23 on our live stream.
It's 6 months of like football obsession, July through January, and then 6 months of just do the best you can.
Which is a perfect time to talk about whatever. Like I'm pulling story for even the Georgia show. I'm pulling stuff out of my, but I'll have a lot of Senior Bowl stuff to talk about for my Georgia show, for Bleav In Dawgs. But for Vandy, man, it's like, man, I'm stretching, man.
I got Mike Detillier tomorrow.
What's that?
I got Mike Detillier tomorrow.
Oh, nice.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, Steve, I watched two episodes ago. Because when I watched it, your Prince Human episode was
Man, me Ellen. I've got this down. I've got this now.
That one wasn't live yet, so I watched your. So I'm stealing your idea. So 5 storylines.
Nice.
Yeah, that's what we do. Just so everybody that's watching this show knows, we steal ideas from each other. We're all friends.
Right.
All right.
I shout Steve out, Steve and Zach and Chris Gordy on my show every day. Shout you guys out.
How many
make y'all
you
my
up
second
to?
listen.
Yeah.
Let's see. I think I'm at like 100. I want to say I'm gonna take a guess. I haven't looked at it in a minute. I'm gonna guess 175.
What subscribers?
If you're at 175, that'd be pretty good.
Sorry, I just guessed that. That's what it was.
Yeah, you just blew our clean rating. Is what you
Yeah.
did.
No,
you blew that earlier. Yeah, you blew that earlier. Yeah.
You blew it. I'm up to 5,000 views total.
Literally blew it. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm above 5,000. Let's see.
175 subscribers in a month is pretty good, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had 204 over a month last month.
Nice.
I did it. So Steve, I did an episode. Will Vandy set the tone against Virginia Tech? And I just talked about like that game.
You watch Shorzy?
Yeah. Shorzy.
Hey, Michael wants to know if you can do it too deep on Locked on Vandy.
I don't know that Vandy has enough players to do it too deep.
Sad thing is he's telling the truth.
Yeah, like especially the offensive line. Like this next episode is gonna just to give you a little spoiler. This next episode is gonna feature the wide receiver room. It ain't too many people in that room.
Got to
Dylan's in that room though, and that's smart because we always talk about players getting a Vanderbilt degree.
Yeah.
And that's what he's going to end up getting, that piece of paper.
He must have listened to our show because he's taking that up.
I was going to say, you got a pretty good quarterback to throw to somebody. So,
yeah, we just got to find who that somebody is.
Right.
And you got the perfect people on staff to get a win in Jordan-Hurst Stadium.
That's right.
True.
We ain't going to go winless in the conference this year. That's for sure.
Man,
you might be Florida this year.
It's absolutely hilarious because all the Auburn fans that you talk to and you sit there and listen to, and they're talking about all the great things that Hugh Freeze is going to do there, and they have no idea what the Hugh Freeze experience is going to do. They've got an idea after the New Mexico State game, but when it's another team next year, and all of a sudden that pattern starts repeating itself.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're going to get tired of that real quick.
Well, it's going to repeat itself and duplicate itself because they hired DJ Durkin.
Yeah. And did y'all see the graphic that they made about first year coach Hugh Freeze had the best recruiting class as a first year coach? I'm like, Kirby's first year, I think he finished 3rd, and I think Brian Kelly finished 5th, his first year. So they're just making crap up just to make it up because it's all.
Well, they've been making fun of that. I think it was that SEC podcast. Cousin Shane is like the #1 co-host on that SEC podcast, as chosen by Shane's mom. I mean, it's like that Penn State graphic. It's like a Penn State players played on every Super Bowl team except for those that didn't.
Yeah.
It absolutely.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, stupid stuff, man. And the reality of it is they need to just constantly talk about that recruiting class and everything because they got dog walked by New Mexico State.
Right.
Yeah, that wasn't a fluke win either.
Yeah.
No.
Diego Pavia, he's now the Vandy. He's now
Vandy quarterback. Diego Pavia.
Yeah. He's now Vandy quarterback Diego Pavia, but he threw an interception and he tackled the dude, and he didn't just tackle the dude. He like picked him up and slammed him and then stood over him.
So great. So
like,
great.
You just threw a pick. Like what? Yeah. Like this is I talked about it when he committed and we signed. I said, this is the swagger that they need. This is the swag they need. Like this guy coming in, like is going to disrupt a lot of things, and it's going to be awesome because that's what they need. They need that attitude because they just don't have it.
Did Auburn actually get the James Madison quarterback?
I don't remember seeing that.
Jordan McLeod, I think is his name.
I don't know. Hold that thought.
Yeah.
Jordan McLeod.
I think that's his name.
Jordan McLeod. Let's see. I think he was at South Florida too. Don't see anything.
Because if Auburn lost him too, it's just over.
I don't think he's been signed. I'm not seeing it in the news feed.
That dude at South Florida would be nasty.
Gunnar Gundy. What a name. Jeff Sims. Drew Payne. That's a good one. Jordan McLeod is still. This was published less than 3 hours ago on The Athletic. Okay. He's on the list of top quarterbacks in the portal. So,
okay.
They haven't lost him, but they haven't got him yet either. And they're saying that'd be hilarious if they lost him to like Texas State.
No, Lord.
Western Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, TJ Finley's on the JT Daniels plan. Trying to go to every school in the country.
Where's JT Daniels going next year? Is he made his way back out west?
No, he is actually retired. And I actually laughed out loud whenever I heard that he retired from football from Rise.
Retired. That's a great word.
Yeah. It's like JT Finley or that's not his name.
TJ Finley.
TJ Finley.
Yeah.
Sitting here, he's on the Ryan Fitzpatrick plan of trying to play for every college football team.
Jeez.
Cassidy Thomas. Hey guys, Steven, tell Becky I miss hearing from her. I'm ready for warmer weather and for baseball and softball.
That's getting kicked up pretty soon.
It is supposed to be 45 degrees tonight. I am afraid.
Oh god, you're gonna have a bunch of iguanas falling out. Sure, he's.
Oh, I didn't know it was getting that cold tonight.
Following iguana season is something fantastic.
Steve, you're telling me now you're going swimming tonight?
Yeah, no.
I got to turn my heater on. I'm not used to doing that.
Are you scared?
I sleep underneath army blankets because they're notoriously thin. So I wake up in the morning every morning just frigid, and I love it.
So you're not scared of 45-degree weather.
Michael Speck says Maryland kicked Hugh's butt. Yes, they absolutely did. Hugh was busy recruiting. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently he was the only coach recruiting during bowl season.
Yep, he was. That's the exact reason they lost, because the new calendar, it's unfair and nobody else can deal with it either. And
especially not Ole Miss, Oregon, Texas, Georgia, Alabama.
Right.
The usual suspects.
Yeah. Michigan really couldn't handle it. They struggled.
Alabama did a better job in the portal with a coach that was retiring.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the truth. That's hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah. It's oh God. Yeah.
Major Applewhite's going to USA, by the way.
That's interesting.
Yeah, that's not a bad hire for them. Not a bad hire. Did you see Artie Smith is going to the Steelers?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, I did see that. Actually, that seems like a good place for him. Like that's his style of football. He'll be fine.
Steelers fans are got to be pissed because they fired Matt Canada just to get Matt Canada again.
Yeah, I've seen the GIF on this one for Arthur Smith where it's the old guy in the maroon shirt with another maroon shirt that's all folded up that he just got it, and he's like, "Hey, Matt Canada for Arthur Smith."
That's pretty true.
That's like the GIF of the two Spider-Mans pointing at each other.
Yeah.
You.
Don't point at me. You pointed at me.
Yeah.
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 Let's see what's going on in the SEC basketball tonight.
Alabama just completed like a 17-point comeback against Georgia.
Yeah, Georgia fell apart in the second half, and Vandy's about to get boat raced again by Auburn.
Mm-hmm.
So, did you guys hear about BC's coach?
Yeah, going to Green Bay.
Yeah, going to the Packers.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he left. He made that decision tonight. So he Boston College was considering firing him because he wasn't any good as a head coach, and he won the bowl game, so they're like, yeah, we'll keep you on. And he's like, oh, thank you. And now since most of the good coaches have settled, he's like, oh, I'm going to go now.
Yeah,
I think Florida. I think Florida, with about 5 minutes left, Florida just took the lead on Kentucky and Rupp.
Oh,
Row.
Oh, really?
See what I did there? Rupp, Row. Got it.
Yeah, almost beat Florida by 30 points.
That's still lots of time in that game.
Who's John Cohen?
John Cohen's the athletic director that came from Mississippi State that went to Auburn.
Oh.
Yeah. The bigger idiot is probably not John Cohen because he got out of Starkville.
Oh, nice.
Hugh Freeze. I have a friend of mine that's an Auburn fan, and he goes, since our clean rating's done, I'm just going to go ahead and read you the text verbatim.
That's pretty cool, man. You having special needs friends? That's awesome, man.
Oh, man.
Because he's an Auburn fan. Get it?
Yeah. Oh, man.
Make a wish. My wish. No, he goes, if you're a piece of shit, Auburn will hire you.
Oh, I mean, that's true.
Needless to say, he's not happy with the Hugh Freeze experience.
It's like, wait. But wait, there's more.
There's more. Yeah.
He's
Billy Mays,
and he's been like a profession. He was like a professional schoolboy. So he got like 2 master's degree and a doctorate, and he went to Auburn, Clemson, and USC.
If you went to Auburn and Clemson, did you just kind of go to Auburn and Auburn?
right?
Yes,
Very similar.
Yeah.
And then he said, you know what? I'm just going to completely change it up. I'm going to USC.
He went coast to coast.
Yeah, why not?
He did the online program once a month. Out.
Yeah, but what that program is just mailing money in is what that is.
Yeah, and now
I'm convinced that student loans are nothing but a method to get people into debt, so they have to become workers their entire life and be good with a worker bees.
Yep, that's right.
I got conspiracy theories for days and days and days.
For days.
I did see somebody make that comment once when they were asking, what's the dumbest thing you did with money? They were like, I took out a whole bunch of money to go to college just so I could get a job to pay back all that money to go to college.
Right.
Yeah.
If you get hurt and miss work, it won't hurt to miss work.
And they give you cash.
Which is just
as good as money.
Yogi Bear, man.
Oh my God. I know. That's so good. The duck's just like, huh?
Vandy's cut it to 10. Of course, Auburn doesn't lose on that floor. They just don't.
Oh, Neville Arena, or Neville, whatever it's called.
Yeah, they don't lose on that floor.
Watch here. Vandy's going to drive down. They're going to force a bad 3. Oh, we made it. Okay, maybe this should be my commentary, and they might have a chance of winning here.
Yeah.
Kentucky took the lead 74-73 and called timeout. So John Calipari's busy. John Calipari in the end of this game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He's like, you guys are making me work at the end of the game. This is bull jive.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Bull jive.
That's what Deion Sanders.
Do his best.
You ever heard Deion Sanders say bull jive and bull junk?
No,
because he doesn't cuss.
Really? He's never cussed in his life.
He doesn't cuss. I mean, he's probably cussed before, but he doesn't cuss.
That's hard.
He says dern. He says bull junk and bull jive. I don't think Shannon Sharp cusses either, by the way.
The funny thing is, whenever you say words like that are just basically that mean the original word that you're trying to say, you're just saying them. You're still saying it.
Yeah, you're just
I mean, you're just trying to draw attention to yourself for not saying the thing that you're saying.
Yeah, I mean,
no, that's true. That's true. I used to get just much trouble for saying fudge and things like that because my parents knew what I meant.
Right.
I worked with an offense coordinator that would yell fudge all the time. He would go, fudge.
At least he was trying.
Okay, Daniel. Daniel asked, first team to win a natty that never has before with the new format. Now, define never has before, because technically Ole Miss has done it. Minnesota has done it. And Tennessee has done it. And Auburn has done it. If you're talking about that never has in the playoff era, I would say Oregon would be up on the list pretty high.
I would say BCS era and beyond, because at least by then they were crowning official national champions.
I would say Ole Miss has a good chance this year.
Yeah, Ole Miss, Oregon, Texas has won one, or they would be on that list as well.
Yeah,
that's young. Yeah,
they want to really
Notre Dame.
All time.
Yeah, that was a great game.
Not Notre Dame. Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
No chance.
Not unless they're going to dig up Air Parsegian do they have a chance.
Right. Yeah.
Marcus Freeman's a good coach, but he's just in it. It's just not a good spot.
Let's see.
He did a hell of a coaching job to get him to 10 wins, though.
See, if you're counting big BCS, you can't say USC because they did. Oklahoma has.
Yeah.
Oregon almost did.
That's the reason Oregon would be a really good bet.
Mm-hmm.
So they were close anyway.
What's the SEC school that would have
the
a
SEC
chance
school? Can't say Tennessee, can't say Georgia, can't say Alabama, can't say LSU.
Missouri? Missouri's going to be a 10-win team, just like Ole Miss next year.
Ole Miss is not going to be a 10-win team. Ole Miss is going to 12.
Well, I'm just saying a baseline. They're in that same cloud because honestly, the best 4 teams, and let's do the best 6 teams, just so I can just say what I think Georgia is the number 1 team in the SEC, and that's not even close. It's all a competition for second place in the SEC. Then you have Texas. Then you have Ole Miss, Missouri, Alabama, LSU.
I don't hate that list.
Yeah, till the start of the season, I'm fine with it too.
I don't hate that list because Arkansas ain't close.
No.
Kentucky is number 7 probably. South Carolina is fading.
Kentucky wouldn't beat Oklahoma.
No.
Maybe. I don't know. Oklahoma's not as good as you think they are. Maybe.
How about Tennessee? Tennessee should be at 17.
Tennessee's above Kentucky because Tennessee will be again.
Yeah,
right.
Tennessee is 14th.
Yeah. No.
They're about to be because they're going to have to release all their players.
Just so we're clear, the answer to this is yes. But I understand why y'all don't believe it right now, and that's fine. But the answer is yes. 3
losses, it might be tough to get in.
No, it won't be 3. Alabama and Georgia, maybe. Outside of that,
2. That means this is the problem that Tennessee has.
Jeb, if you
couldn't get into the playoffs, you have to run the table in the rest of your games.
Right.
Well, who else are they going to lose to?
You got to get
their only other tough game.
You go to Norman this year?
Yes.
Yes. That's what I'm saying. Oklahoma's a tough game.
They'll beat Oklahoma.
Between Oklahoma, Georgia, Alabama,
I don't think they're going to be able to handle Nico.
No.
And now they can't score because they don't have Jeff Lebby anymore.
And they'll be favored in every other game with no problem.
Who'd they hire?
What?
Who'd they hire as offense coordinator over there?
The guy from North Texas used to be the coach.
Graham Harrell?
No. The head coach.
Seth Luttrell?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Oh, so better watch out for that fake fair catch punt.
Yeah, that's true.
Iowa apparently tried to run that this year.
That's actually not a bad hire. Did you see who they hired? Tim Lester?
Huh.
Yeah.
Iowa? Yeah. They just hate offensive football, apparently.
Just asking, is LSU overhyped without Daniel? This year, yes. They're going to be better next year because they have athletes and their defensive coordinator is pretty good. But they're not going to be.
Nussmeier's good, but he's not that.
I mean, but they're coming from Matt House, which if they didn't have Jaden Daniels this year, they were a 4 or 5 win team.
Yeah.
I mean, he did everything for them. In fact, Wisconsin should be embarrassed for the way that ended up in the bowl game.
Yeah, you're right.
Mm-hmm. Wisconsin,
the Phil Longo experience.
Oh, geez. I think Luke Fickell's a good coach, but like I hate some of these like G5 guys that come in and have to do they come into these big P5 places that have national brands. And yes, Wisconsin has a national brand. And they do this cheesy stuff like #team on the back of their stuff. And like, they do all like the cheesy, unnecessary stuff. Like
Florida wearing black jerseys and excellence on the back of the jerseys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like what are you doing?
A 4-win team with excellence on the back of their jersey.
You're the University of Florida. What are you doing?
Yeah, you don't do that.
Like,
okay,
you're not McNeese State.
No.
Let's be real about something. Florida has one of the best looking sets of uniforms in the entire country. That blue and that orange, it just works good. It looks great. I know we got a Georgia fan and a Tennessee fan here, and they're going to disagree with that entirely, but it looks good on TV. Them taking those colors and saying, we're going to play a game in all black. Yes, Florida deserved to lose that football game for not respecting.
Black's not even in their scheme.
Yes, it's just a made up color.
Like, why are you doing that? Does Alabama change their uniforms? No. Why?
No. Alabama in one game under Mike Shula wore houndstooth collars on their jerseys. And there was such an outroar they had to apologize and swear they were never going to do it again.
And we haven't.
They haven't.
No, we don't do alternate jerseys at Alabama.
Yeah. And Alabama is really the only place in the country that doesn't do alternate jerseys anymore.
We've been begging for the white helmets come back for a few years. So
they should.
Yeah,
they should.
Stuff within your color scheme, like alternate stuff within your color scheme, is fine. That's not gimmicky.
Look at what Ole Miss does.
Mm-hmm.
Like Ole Miss stays within their color scheme, but they have different combos. Georgia I wish Georgia would wear the black jerseys more because that's just a good looking jersey and it's in their combo.
After they're going to a funeral, they may never wear those again.
Well, they've worn them a couple times now, but like, that ruined it. But
yeah,
such a good looking uniform though.
Oh, it was fantastic.
Still is a great combo. Like when Georgia takes recruiting like they have these recruiting photo shoots. They have all kind of combos. Like Georgia can come out in white helmets. Yeah,
their stormtroopers look fantastic.
Yeah, those are sick.
Yeah.
The red pants that they wore, those 40th anniversary red pants they wore against Arkansas, those were incredible. Mm-hmm. Like those should be in the regular rotation. Those weren't crazy. Like that stuff is fine.
Yeah, it works. In Tennessee, listen, I like the smoky grays. I really, really like their Halloween look with the blackout, the dark mode, I guess they call it, with the black outlines on it. That's fantastic. They're all orange helmet. Now, granted, South Carolina cheated and ruined those forever. Yeah. But that was a good look. Yeah. But Tennessee, that being just orange and white, they found a way to make that work with a little variance that looks pretty good.
Mm-hmm. I've always liked their alternates. Like I'm not real big on alternate uniforms, but the smoky grays were great. And you're like I said,
I love alternate uniforms if it's done within the realm of your color scheme.
Well, yeah.
I freaking love it. Like the black on black look to me is incredible.
Yeah.
If it's within your color scheme, obviously.
Right.
Yeah, for something like Georgia, that would work.
Yeah, my goodness. Can you imagine what Georgia could do with a black on black look?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. But as long as they never in a million years go red on red ever again, I will be happy. Like as much as I love black on black, I hate red on red.
Okay. Hey, the uniform they broke out against Boise State.
Burn those. Israel wore those.
I like those. I like those gray helmets.
No, those uniforms are awful.
The Fran Tarkingtons?
The helmet, if they just went a standard silver helmet, gray helmet, and not that Power Ranger crap that they tried to do.
Hey, does everybody remember what Florida did the first time they ruined their jerseys and they just did alligator scale jerseys like lifelike?
Oh Oh my gosh!
I remember that. Yeah, I remember that. You remember the stupid like 2005 version where they had the one sleeve a different color?
The one stripe that was like green. Yeah,
it was like the whole shoulder was like orange.
Yeah.
They were Chris Leak specials. Virginia Tech did it too.
Yeah.
A lot of Nike schools did it, and I was like, "What is this?
Looks so bad, so bad,
awful." Or like the pants with like the big words on the side going down the pants. I hate that too.
Yeah, Ole Miss had a pair of blues that did that. Although the all blue look for Ole Miss was pretty fantastic.
But the words, that is so JV. Mm-hmm. That is JV football. Like my high school did that. Like we just like when we were designing uniforms, I was actually part of that process before I stopped coaching there. But when we designed uniforms, we actually had the Ole Miss like template going with the jerseys and the pants, like the plain pants with the logo, with just like the on the hip,
like the Ravens.
Yeah, and I know Ole Miss has the stripes on the pants, but like we had the Ole Miss style jerseys, we had the plain pants. And we had a really nice looking helmet. And at the last minute, some guy that claims to be a marketing director at our school, he changed it last minute, and he has Lawson down the side of it. And I hate that. I'm like, dude, you just ruined a really good, clean looking uniform. Now our basketball uniforms are pretty sweet. But our football ones, man, the pants, dude, you can't, like, I hate that look.
The syllabus says you got to put a salary cap on NIL and allow cheeseburgers on unofficial visits.
Tennessee will get out of it then. Hamburglar can be a director of scouting for the
Hamburger was the director of scouting.
Yeah. What's the big purple thing? What's that? The McDonald's character? Oh,
Grimace?
Yeah, there you go. Grimace.
Oh, I just realized I was muted. Sorry. I've been sitting here saying Grimace. Like, thought y'all were ignoring me.
Jeb's been delivering haymaker after haymaker, but no one heard it.
Right.
That's some dynamite conversation here. Y'all just weren't listening.
Dynamite drop in, Monty.
Yeah.
Drop it. That's what I was trying to say.
Alternate jersey. South Carolina has pretty good alternate jerseys. I like theirs.
Black ones are really good.
Yeah.
Black ones they wear are really cool. And I love it when they wear the garnet helmets.
I mean, they have, for somebody that is black and garnet, it works for whatever reason. I think LSU, now that they're embracing alternates, you're going to see some stuff with the white pants and all that with the yellow helmet, and all. Yeah, I think that's going to.
I like when they break out the white helmets with the purple jerseys and the white pants.
Yeah, they have those options.
Or they go for whenever they go Stormtrooper. That's going to be awesome.
Auburn's trying to be Diet Alabama and just changing face masks.
Yep.
Of course. I love like Missouri, except for the all mustard uniform that they brought out one year.
Billy Napier should be keel-hauled for the fact of getting rid of the blue helmets for the Florida Gators.
He will be after this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about that. So Florida, when they go Florida, this is going to make me gag, so I apologize. But Florida, when their best helmet is when they go the white with the F in the circle, and then they go like the striped blue jerseys and the white pants. That's their best. No. I love that look.
The best look they have is whenever they wear their blue helmets, either with the script Gators or that Circle F logo. White jerseys, white pants.
I don't know. I just looked up what Steve was saying about the gator skin inspired ones, and those are pretty awesome.
Oh my gosh.
God, those look bad.
So it's like whoever did that, they should have been fired with cause immediately.
Yeah,
they probably
immediately.
Were.
Don't even play with it.
Apparently, they're doing black on black this year. So
yeah, they're going to have an Armed Forces game every year.
Okay.
Maybe they can have that Armed Forces game as like a.
Why mess with you? You have such good combos.
It's so good. Why mess with it?
Just don't do orange on orange. Leave that for Tennessee. Don't do orange on orange. Just don't do that. Leave that for Tennessee.
Tennessee doing the traffic cone is pretty awesome. I love the traffic cone. Yeah. Becky hates it. I love the traffic cone.
Now, if they fully embrace the traffic cone and go orange helmets with that, now we're talking. Clemson does the all orange too. I like the Clemson all orange.
They also have this weird color that's halfway between blue and purple.
Yeah.
That you never can really understand what's going on. Depends on how the light hits it.
Yeah, like the uniforms are purple, but like the coaches' shirts are blue.
Yeah.
Like pick one here.
That's weird.
Yeah. Just pick one.
Arkansas's uniform, yeah, blah. I think Texas coming into the league, they're going to rival Alabama in traditional uniforms.
Mm-hmm. They have a pretty sweet look, so I don't blame them.
They ended pretty good.
Oklahoma every once in a while go with the old school throwback cream with the red collar and the white helmet.
Yeah.
Those are pretty sweet.
And like I said, Arkansas just is blah.
I love when Kentucky goes chrome dome with blue on white.
Yeah, that's fine. And sometimes it looks good, but Kentucky's royal blue is one of the best looking colors in all of the color wheel.
But they had, I think I saw they had a helmet that was blue chrome dome.
Okay. I want to see it.
I think I'd have to see that.
I want to see that.
But they're blue on white.
What's the deal with the state of Kentucky is being the last one standard on hydrochrome?
They're not because your school down the road there with the wrought iron fence has they have gold chrome domes and Baylor has chrome domes. And Washington
doesn't anymore. Baylor doesn't
Washington
anymore.
has worn them before too recently.
Well, they've all worn them, but Kentucky, I'm talking about Kentucky and Western Kentucky, they wear them with frequency.
That's Western Kentucky's helmet.
Well, they changed it. Did you see the black helmets with like the big red football mascots?
Yeah, that was awesome. Like
that was amazing.
Like it matched your position group. That was pretty awesome.
And this one right here, the Ole Miss Realtree Wave 3 is the best thing I've seen in a while. That is a fantastic helmet. It's too bad we'll never see them again.
Yeah.
Because Realtree and Wave 3 and all that, they're redesigning them. And my hunch is go back to signing day and see the red tint in the camouflage, and you get an idea what the helmet's going to look like. I think you're going to see a red helmet for Ole Miss.
Georgia will at some point break out the white helmet. It's just going to happen. Do you remember when Georgia did the Grambling State helmets and got absolutely slaughtered against Florida?
No.
That was the timeout game.
Oh, the black helmets.
Yeah, they went.
Yeah, that was the one where Urban Meyer was getting Georgia back because of the year before Noshawn Moreno scored a touchdown and the whole team ran on the field to celebrate it.
Yep. Exactly.
Oh, Corey, we got 2 minutes, bud.
We sure do. Okay. Yeah. All right, 2 minutes. Don't interrupt me. Here we go. Well, we had a really good show, guys. It was. We hope you guys find us on social media, like and subscribe, rate us on iTunes, find us wherever you find your podcast, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook every Wednesday as well. On the live stream, we thank you for joining us. You can find Steve each and every day on the Lockdown Ole Miss podcast. He's a loomer. You can find Jake.
I'm head loomer. Your
head loomer. You can find Jake Thomas at Tide Talk Live, at Jake Thomas TTS on X. You can find Jeb eventually somewhere else, but just here right now. Nice DX.
Yeah.
And you can find me on every podcast that's ever made, because I'm like the
all over the place.
I'm like the Steve Harvey of podcasts. I'm just everywhere. You can find me on Bleav In Georgia Dawgs. You can find me on Locked On Fandy, and you can also find me during the season on Illegal Motion. College football.
Do you have his money?
I wish. Maybe eventually. If you guys like and subscribe, I will. If all of you out there will like and subscribe, even if you're not a Vandy fan, everyone's a Vandy fan. They just don't know it yet. But anyway, we are the SEC After Dark podcast. And we will be back at you live next week. We're going to talk some Super Bowl. So we're going to go a little bit Super Bowl After Dark. And we're going to talk some prop bets and all that good stuff. And maybe a little basketball. Baseball's right around the corner. So that's going to be something that's coming up later. So softball. Vandy's got a loaded pitching staff. Georgia's going to be pretty good as well. So my teams are going to be pretty good at baseball. And Steve's yours is too. And Jake, I'm not sure about Alabama yet. I just don't
Tennessee's
know.
ranked, but yeah, don't mention that. It's fine, whatever.
We don't mention Tennessee around here.
Yeah. We don't want the NCAA to find out about us.
Yeah, exactly. We don't want to be canceled.
Got to keep that on the DL. Probably need to lay low.
Great. Tennessee's under investigation again.
Yeah.
Maybe
this decade.
Second time this week.
Yeah.
Tommy DeVello is gonna get in there and go, and then they're gonna overturn it.
Yeah, Tony. It sounds like Tony Vitello is the one composing their memos to the NCAA right now.
As he should. He should.
Yeah.
He's awesome. He's great for the sport. So anyway, we are SEC After Dark. We'll catch you back here next week. Go Dogs. Anchor down.
Take care. Hotty toddy.
Go Vols.
Roll Tide.